You're telling me it's normal for New York to be flooded the way it's flooded after some heavy rain. It's either that weather machine is fully active or New York is sinking. You got heat wave after heat wave.
I said it last year during the Galactic War, and I'll say it the fuck again now, and I'll say it again and again and again and again. Something is not right with these fires. Remember last year, same time last year, the Grand Canyon, all them.
Well, she's a mother and a grandmother, but she doesn't look it. Take a look at that. Annette Larkin says she's made her own fountain of youth, and not through plastic surgery. Now her husband says he...
Planet Earth has been here for 13 billion years, not 5 as NASA. Right. It has seen at least 100 civilizations far more advanced than we are.
Can men get pregnant?
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are political.
All right, welcome back to the foundation. A1 Luck, and you tuned into The Awakening, a channel where each one teach one and the truth shall set you free. Now, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And also remember, everything in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And I thank everybody for being beautiful subscribers. Now, without further ado, let's get woke, people.
So you're telling me it's normal for New York to be flooded the way it's flooded after some heavy rain. It's either that weather machine is fully active or New York is sinking. You got heat wave after heat wave. You got smoke coming from Canada. Then you got some of the heaviest showers that New York ever seen. And that rain has the city looking like this. So New Yorkers that was born and raised in New York, is this normal for New York? I'm gonna give you a second to think about this. Look at this shit. Mind you, this is Soho right here. Tell me, you have some of the hottest weather ever last week, and then people can literally swim in the streets right now. Look at this shit. This is all from a flash flood.
Bullshit. Yo, look at this. In the streets of Queens is crazy.
This is Queens right here.
Bro.
You don't see nothing wrong with this.
This is crazy. Look.
And this is for entertainment purposes only. This leads me right back to Texas. Look at the floods. Look at the rain. Look at the unexplainable rain. Look at the rain that they weren't warned about. Now let's go back to that smoke in Canada. Yeah, okay. So you're
down the street, the White Plains Expressway, the manual on the commercial building. Step 3. That's your response. West 3 bus, 4610, 7112, 5 down the street. The White Plains Expressway, the manual on the commercial building. I'm about 135 hours, that's 1
emergency in Sonora, Texas on Dry Devils River.
Right now, rain's continuing to fall over the hill country. Several counties there under flash flood warning. Just into the newsroom, the Kendall County judge tells ABC News that the bridge over the Guadalupe River on Highway 87 into Comfort, Texas, which is northwest of San Antonio, was assessed by engineers and appears to be structurally sound despite the floods. He says the area usually sees about 2,000 cubic feet of water a second, but earlier this morning, it was at about 215,000, just to give some perspective there. And about 25 miles away in Ingram, Texas, the fire chief there says so far they've rescued about 35 to 40 people, mostly from RV parks. She says that one RV park close to the river, 2 RVs got swept away. Thankfully, no one was inside them. She says overall, she believes they are more prepared than they were barely over a year ago when the July 4th deadly flash flooding happened.
Alright, y'all, first few clips is crazy. Floods, and more floods. Rain for a little bit in New York. All of a sudden, there's floods in Queens, there's floods in Manhattan. Little floods. I don't understand where these floods is just occurring from. Like, as long as people been living in these places, they say, "Oh, I never seen a flood this much." Oh, we never had this type of flood. We never had this before. Why is it happening now? You know, is this strategically being done some way, somehow, so people could just, I guess, lose more things, you know, be more messed up out here? I don't understand it, because there's a lot of floods going on. Texas is crazy as well. For the last few clips, it's just crazy. Like, what's really going on with these floods? If anybody have any ideas, or let me know in the comment section, because it's getting crazy.
I said it last year during the Galactic War, and I'll say it the fuck again now, and I'll say it again and again and again and again. Something is not right with these fires. Remember last year, same time last year, the Grand Canyon, all them fucking fires at the Grand Canyon that they just couldn't put out. They couldn't put them out, and they burned for weeks and weeks and weeks. It turned into the whole rest of the summer, okay? Started on July 4th. Area 51 blows the fuck up. Guess when? July 4th, 4th of July. Everybody's like, what's going on? Because Area 51 had been on fire for days and days and days before it was reported. And you know why it was reported? Because it burned so long that the smoke was going into residential areas, and people called the news. That's how they found out. Area 51 gave one statement. That was it. They called it the Gothic Fire. Burned for months and months and months. Now look, I'm not familiar with the Canadian brush up there, but it's so dry. They're saying that this is what's starting the wildfires, right? And that makes sense. It's so dry and barren. But when you're in like the deserts and shit, what is actually igniting? There's no bushes. There's just sand, right? In Canada, I'm not sure, but 800 fires, I don't understand that. And another thing, listen for the word containment. Because when did this start? Where they just contain them because they can't get them out. They can't extinguish them. Now, last year, every single fire department was at the Grand Canyon. Every single fire department in a so many mile radius was there for days, using tons and tons and tons of water, and they couldn't get it out. Well, we're just going to contain it, meaning so it doesn't spread any further. But this, in Canada, it's already 800 fires, because they said in Utah, not only was there a big one in Monroe Canyon in Utah last year, but it just started up again in the same area this year, and it's been burning for 3 fucking weeks. They're saying it's so devastating that they don't know what they're going to do. Now, last year in Utah, they said that the big Monroe Canyon fire was caused by a motorbike backfiring. Yeah, and I remember getting on and being like, really? If that was the case, then how wasn't it extinguished immediately? I mean, it should have been immediate if they knew the cause and it was right there. It didn't make sense. And the reason why it didn't make sense is because months later it was debunked, because guess how they found out it started? Human hands. Okay, but Anj, that was just one location. That was just in Utah. You can't say that all of these fires are man-made. Hold on. Mute and pause, because who said that that was the only location? Not me. Listen, I did my due diligence on this completely because it just wasn't sitting right. You know what else happened last summer? In Scotland, Edinburgh to be exact. They have a defunct, dilapidated volcano, which means it no longer has any eruptions, and it's called Arthur's Seat. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. It's on my bucket list. Well, last year, randomly, a fire just happens out of the blue. And you know what? After the fire chief and all them went up there to check it out, and they did like a little investigation, the fire chief came out blatantly to every media site and said, this wasn't natural. Someone did this. Someone did this. Human hands, man-made, human activity. And we're investigating it as such. I love the fucking Scotland fire chief. He's on my Christmas card list just for saying that shit. Because he opened the door to have other people say the same thing. It's like they were scared to say that this was human hands. We can tell. This is the first time all these fires were happening. And we know that it's not humans. Because humans don't have the ability to light a fire, let it spread, and then it not be able to be put out because of whatever they used. No, maybe it'll take a day or two, but months? And you know what else the Scotland fire chief said that made me fall in love with him even more? He said, we don't get wildfires in Scotland. Period. It's from the war. It's those high-powered fucking high-tech weapons that they're using. The same thing that you hear the boom booming and the bang banging, the same time you hear the asteroids breaking the sound barrier. Now, add that to the noises like the banging and the storms. It could be the colored lightning, it could be the flooding, it could be out of the norm rain and heat. And then you take that and add that to people feeling sick, feeling nauseous, not being able to eat, not being able to sleep, or eating and sleeping too much. Take that along with the dreams that you're having, right? Out of control dreams, the animals acting weird, and last but not least, this time this year again, exactly like last year, and even in some of the same places as last year, fires devastating hundreds and thousands of acres, not like our normal run-of-the-mill every year wildfire, no, devastating hundreds and thousands of acres, and they cannot be extinguished. Prove me wrong.
Oh, okay. Why is this back here? Why? This is a crystal grid. That looks like the head of a goddamn crocodile. What the fuck is going on? Holy shit. And it's sliced in. No, bro, this is crystal. What is this, though? 1, 2, 3 pillars. 4 pillars right there. Magnet. Oh my God. Huh? What is going on? You didn't see what the fuck I'm talking about. You got the goddamn iron and steel in the middle, coming out of the goddamn shit. Where are we at? What the fuck is this? They already trying to start digging us up? It's a goddamn steel iron rod coming out of the goddamn stone. What the fuck is this, dog? It's just like we went to the first day in creation. This some ancient ass shit. What is this, though? It's like some goddamn sacrifice pit or some shit. Or a burial ground because it's fucking levels like a stadium. Look at the stonework into the ground. Oh my God, there's no telling how much deeper this shit go. I don't know what to do. This shit just, what the fuck? What the fuck with the castle in the background? We at the castle. Holy shit. Oh, I'm glad we stopped. Whoa, buddy. Whoa! What in the hell did we just find? What is going on? Look, yep, sewer, water drainage, piezoelectricity, free energy. We are on the free energy grid. Yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, bro, what is this? We found it again. All right, I can't breathe. What is this? Look at me. Look at me. You know I done found the crystals. You know I done found the crystals. Holy shit. Oh. I gotta take a crystal. I gotta take a crystal, nigga. Are you crazy? This shit is crystal tech. I don't know what to do. Look at this. Gorgeous.
A friend of mine said to me yesterday, he said, you know, I find it funny that smoke can travel for over 1,000 miles. The ash. Like, I have ash at my house laying on everything. And now, if you have a campfire in your backyard, could you imagine trying to make the ash from your campfire travel even 100 yards or a mile? Now, just compound that by like a forest fire, but imagine trying to make that forest fire and that ash drift for 1,000 miles. It almost seems like naturally, or with like I don't see how it's possible. To me, it seems like it's gotta be something else other than just a natural fire. Am I wrong? Something don't add up. It's like we have to just accept this stuff that comes our way, and we have to just breathe it in, not knowing the effects, the long-term effects of what exactly is in this smoke that we're breathing, or if it really came from this fire. Am I crazy? Just tell me if this whole thing makes you feel very uncomfortable and kind of like curious onto what's really going on.
Well, she's a mother and a grandmother, but she doesn't look it. Take a look at that. Annette Larkin says she's made her own fountain of youth, and not through plastic surgery. Now her husband says he wished he would have listened to her years ago. Tanya Rogers has more on her secret.
And here we have some ginger.
Annette Larkin shows off her garden in her Miami-Dade County backyard. It's full of fruits and vegetables. Every corner of her garden has something that is edible.
And I've been eating them, and they're so good.
She also collects rainwater to drink and water her plants. Annette says the food in her garden is her fountain of youth.
I'm very vibrant. I have lots of energy, as I told you before. I'm up at no later than 5:30 in the morning as a rule, and I'm ready to go.
Annette's husband owned a meat store in the 1960s. That's when she became a vegetarian. But as the years went by, she became a raw vegan. She does not eat any animal products. Her food is unprocessed and uncooked.
My diet consists of fruits, nuts, vegetables, and seeds. I do a lot of sprouting of seeds, and as you can see from my garden, of course, these are the raw foods that I eat.
Annette also juices fruits and veggies. You name it, she can juice it. Grapefruits, pineapples, even spinach. But not everyone in the Larkins family eats and drinks this way. Annette's husband of almost 54 years chose to continue to eat the way he did when they were first married.
I really wish I would have did what she's done.
Amos Larkin says people even wonder if Annette is his wife.
They'll ask me, what am I doing with their young girl? Or they'll say, you got your granddaughter with you, you know, and things like that, you know.
Amos takes prescription medicines daily for high blood pressure and diabetes. Annette says she doesn't even take an aspirin. Because friends and strangers kept asking her questions about her health and youthful appearance, she decided to publish 2 Journey to Health booklets, and she produced the DVD 12 years ago.
Discovery Channel, they took sections of the booklet and translated them into Spanish, which, by the way, is my second language.
So how old is this size 4 beauty? Annette just turned 70 years old.
This one lady who is my age, she said, was telling her friend that I used to tell them about eating and they wouldn't listen. And her reply was to that, or her response to that was, look at her now and look at us.
She's an amazing person, though. Oh, man. I mean, really, she do everything. I mean, build computers. Oh, she's make all her own clothes, grow her own food, speak 3 languages. You know, it's amazing.
right, y'all, for the first clip. I don't know, but it's a lot of people starting to feel weird about these wildfires. It's really looking like something strange is going on behind these wildfires. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's to bring upon new data centers. I don't know if to just get something filth in the air that we shouldn't be inhaling. I'm not sure. But let me know, because there's a lot of people starting to think it's something really weird going on there. And then the second clip, is that an ancient burial site, or was that a Freemason site or something like that? Because I couldn't really tell. I don't know what that really is. But for anybody out there that knows these things and got a good look of what's going on there with the whole circle-ish structure going on, I don't know. But let me know in the comment section. It probably might be a Freemason Olmec site. Who knows? But if anybody out there knows for sure, let me know in the comment section, because I look crazy. And the third clip, do y'all really think that the smoke from all these wildfires that's thousands and thousands of miles away, do y'all really think it could reach certain places as to where so much smoke filled in the air and so much fog and also ashes? Because people say they having ashes on their car as well. I don't know, but if y'all think the smoke could travel so far, let me know. And then that fourth clip is crazy, because that woman is 70 years old, looking like 40. And she's, vegan? You know, no meat, no nothing like that. Like, I guess vegan is always just, plant-based. You can't go out of that. But she looks beautiful for 70, though. I tell you that. I wish I looked like that when I turned 70 years old. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
Planet Earth has been here for 13 billion years, not 5 as NASA tells. Right. It has seen at least 100 civilizations far more advanced than we are. And the fact that we were just engineered and planted here by an ET race. The Bible is pretty much allegorical. There's remnants of those civilizations under the Sea of Japan, under the Sahara, all kinds of remnants around, just right under our nose.
What do you know about the pyramids?
I'll tell you one thing, the Egyptians did not build them.
Who built them?
ET built them. They were energy sources, like generators. And what they did is they used the sympathetic vibration of the earth to create power. And there's thousands of pyramids all over the world. The Appalachian Mountains cover a bunch of them right there.
So we need to start thinking about being drunk very, very differently. Being drunk is not some magical fun state your body was designed to enjoy. It is literally the side effect of ingesting a poison. Think about that for a second. If someone swallowed any other poison and started getting dizzy and slurring their words and losing their balance, making poor decisions and having trouble thinking clearly, no one would say, "Looks like it's working." We'd say, the poison's affecting their brain and we should probably get them checked out. And that's exactly what happens with alcohol. The moment you drink it, your body recognizes it as a toxin and immediately starts trying to break it down and get it out of your system. That buzz that people chase, that loss of coordination, the lowered inhibitions, the slower reaction time, the poor judgment, those are not benefits. These are effects of poison acting on your brain. We just gave it some friendly name and we call it being drunk. We have normalized it so much that most people never stop to think about what being drunk actually is. I know I didn't. It is not your body functioning better. It is your body literally responding to a poison.
The U.S. is now one step closer to stopping the clock change. The House voted yesterday to make daylight saving time permanent. President Donald Trump had pushed Congress to pass the bill, and it now heads to the Senate, where its future is still uncertain.
If this does happen, that like we do in parts of Canada here, they would no longer in the United States have to spring forward an hour in the spring or fall back an hour in the fall, which can be annoying for some people. Some of the pros that have been out there for permanent daylight time, people have said that this would be healthier for you. It's less disruptive to your sleep, helps with seasonal depression. On the other hand, we know that if there's permanent daylight time, it would mean that there are longer hours of darkness in the morning, which is not great for your circadian clock, according to some experts. When we look at the economy, there could be a negative impact on farmers, for instance, because of longer hours in the daytime. President Trump said online that the economy could actually save some money because they wouldn't have to rent equipment to get up there and physically change the clocks on clock towers. Productivity is one thing, safety another thing. If it's darker in the morning, not great for drivers and pedestrians. More daylight in the evening time, some people are saying is much better.
How do you feel about this? Daylight savings time may really become permanent this time, meaning ultra dark mornings in December. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross, and courtesy of Snowbird Bob, who put this map together, we have a look at what's going to happen if Congress passes the Sunshine Protection Act. This is making its way through the House, and it is expected to rapidly pass. I am recording this in the middle of July 2026. Once it goes to the Senate, it has some resistance there, but there's at least a 50-50 chance that it will pass. And we really will have what over half of you have wished for and half of you are dreading: permanent daylight savings time, which means in wintertime, sunrises will be ridiculously late. Detroit, for instance, would be at almost 9 a.m. straight up. We're talking about 9:15 a.m. in Boise, Idaho, 8:58 a.m. in Seattle, and even past 8:30 in places like Atlanta and San Francisco. This could be really, really crazy if this passes, because I know most of you don't remember, like I do, what happened in the 1970s when this was tried during the energy crisis. It completely flopped. But this has been what a lot of you have been rooting for. What's your opinion? Daylight saving time year-round, standard time year-round, keep going the way we are, or find some sort of way to split the difference? I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. Let me know in the comments.
08, the nays are 117. The bill is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
Alright, y'all, for the first clip, I don't know how long this planet been here, or whatever the case may be, but I know it's older than a lot of us might think it is, but like he said, it's probably 13 billion years old. Think about that. 13 billion years old for this. But, you know, like, to me, it kind of shows, like, from the different creations, from the different beings, from the different things like we hear about, sometimes see or whatever it is. It's like life been a part of a lot of things for so long. It's like sometimes it gets real difficult to put a timing on it for real, but you could tell from many different creations, I guess, until, you know, certain creations just kept going, you know. They knew how to create, they had the power to create, so they was creating. So it's a long time coming. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. The second clip is just, I always try to put something in there like this to just, you know, everybody to be mindful, you know, when they taking their drinks and stuff like that, you know, because sometimes you might let some bad spirits in your life that you can't get rid of, you know. It'd be difficult to get rid of, but let me know how y'all feel about that, you know, and just take it easy when it comes to getting drunk and stuff like that. And then the third, fourth, and fifth clip is crazy because they actually thinking about this, like this is gonna do a lot, like, to people now, like no daylight savings, this one time all year through, like certain times gonna be more light, certain times you're gonna have more darkness, you know. I don't know, but they passing a law that's basically gonna make daylight savings permanent. It's not gonna be changing it. You're not gonna be bringing the time back and forth an hour no more. Let me know how y'all feel about that, and when do y'all think that could really change or mess up psychologically in people's lives? Let me know how y'all feel about that.
Can men get pregnant?
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes, no questions like this are a political tool. And
No, yes, no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
what you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question. it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA label. And yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. I don't know how we can take you seriously if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who's here to represent the complex experiences my patients, and I don't think polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women, and I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such. That is not polarizing. That is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women. And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science, to public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women. I think it's extraordinary that you would sit here and advance a political agenda that has been thoroughly discredited and rejected by the American people. And I'm glad we had this exchange because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing.
To talk about souls. They were interested in our soul somehow. How do we have a soul? How does this container hold the soul? That was a strange conversation. I thought, man, that's just weird stuff people talk about on this base.
Well, that is critical. This is the most critical of all the subjects that you have mentioned. Can you describe where you were and who you were talking with or listening to about the containers and the souls?
I was sitting outside of my office, smoking a cigarette at the table with all the guys from the 732nd, the communication guys, that listen to people talk. There was a couple of officers there. There was a first lieutenant and a second lieutenant, and then I believe there was a lieutenant colonel. They were talking about how these beings from other planets were interested in our soul. How did our soul get in our body, and how could they extract our soul? How did it fit? Could they move the soul to another vessel? Stuff like that. It was like, it was crazy, but I just listened and it started to make some sense that these beings from other planets are interested in our soul. And how is it in the container? And they could repair our containers and do all kinds of stuff to us, but they couldn't get our soul. They wanted to know how to capture the soul.
And the person telling this knew this information because why?
Because he worked in the Cunilla Tunnel, and he was one of the officers that listened to otherworldly communications, and he had, I think it was 18 years of service in intelligence. So when you get to a certain level of intelligence, you've already been around the block and been a lot of places. So he knew firsthand that they were looking to find out how to get our souls out of our body, if they could capture our soul. It was very interesting to them.
And did this person who was talking, who was working in the Cunilla Tunnel, say that that implied that the humanoids in charge of the Greys and the ones that had made these 4 experiments of standing up primates, of which we Homo sapiens sapien are the 4th, that those humanoids do not have souls?
Didn't say anything like that, but you know what? It made you wonder, how are they so interested in our soul? I don't know. He didn't say He just said they were extremely interested in our souls and that this was an earth school. We were on an earth school. Our souls were in school. Somehow this is where our souls came to learn. And they wanted to know how to get our souls, the knowledge of the souls or something that we've learned in this lifetime.
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers.
Watch this. So neat to see how thousands or even millions of years of water rushing over this rock causes the path for that water to become very prominent, and you can see exactly where that water is going to flow, the little drop holes that it drops down into. And that's basically because sandstone is much less dense than marble, so it can actually be affected by rushing water pretty easily. And I've also read where this can take place over millions of years, but also when areas like this flood and a bunch of water rushes over the area for like an hour or so, that does a lot more work than a slow trickle of water over months.
I want to show you guys something. Okay, so I am in the Northeast in the US, and I have religiously been watering my plants every day this summer, sometimes twice, depending on how hot it was. And they were flourishing all summer until the last couple days when we had these wildfires. Take a look at this. My plants are now dying. All of a sudden, I don't even know if you can tell in the video, but a couple days ago, these were great. Like, look at this. Look at this. What? I have lived in this area all my life, and I am in my 40s. This was never a thing. And I'm so sick of the gaslighting, and even more sick of people just accepting this like it's the norm. Like the smell also, it's like burning plastic or an electrical fire. And these particles that they're talking about that are so small they can get into the depths of our lungs and our bloodstream. It's giving, I don't even want to say it because I don't want this video to be suppressed. But also, did you know that this is called a dark day when this happens? Like 10 days of darkness? I don't know. Let me know what you guys are experiencing and think.
All right, y'all, that first clip is crazy. I mean, there's but so many ways you could go around a yes or no question or a simple answer, you know. It's not too many different ways. When asking, could men get pregnant, it's like, it's not too many answers for that. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because that was crazy. And the second clip, you know what, the Edward Abbott clip, it's crazy because he's talking about seeing containers with souls. That's a little bit different. Like I said, these people know a lot that they I don't know, like they always wait till it's end, like at they ended to let us know these things. But containers with souls, like it's crazy that they really harvesting our souls out there. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because that's wild. And then the third clip is that water shaping the rocks, you know. But I really feel that's just an ancient method of how they had when the rains or when the water come down, you know, they make a little, you know, make a drainage as to where the water could go everywhere you need it to go. Everybody that need water get water. You know, it fills up one spot. You can see that's like an intricate water system going on. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the fourth clips is the lady showing basically her plants is dying from the wildfire, like having these wildfires, the smoke from the wildfires or whatever it is. But I don't feel it's that. I just basically feel too, it's more than that. Like it might be that, but like as the place heats up, like I had a plant in front of my house and that plant, like, it shedded so bad this year. Like, this is the first year I ever seen this tree shed this bad. Like, all the bark is dried off, and it's making way for new skin, I guess. Everything is witnessing that change. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
A mother has been arrested for eating her 4-year-old son last week. This happened in Australia. So as of 8 days ago, this is the photo of the mom and the son. Their faces are blurred out and their identities are still hidden right now because the investigation is ongoing. Revealing the mother would reveal the child, most likely, especially with social media today. Turns out the mom had a pretty clean record except for like a few drunk driving incidents that happened like years ago, a long time ago. But 18 months ago, they're not releasing all the details yet. 18 months ago, Child Services was contacted about the pair. More details have not been released yet, so you're probably about to hear a lot about this and a bunch of true crime stuff. But she called the police on herself, I guess, is what I'm understanding. And she told the police when they arrived that she had eaten part of her son. So it's a weird cannibalist situation right now. So she has been sent off for mental testing. We're going to find out if drugs were involved, if she had some kind of severe crazy mental break, or what's going on here. We just don't know yet.
They're saying these fires smell like what?
Doesn't necessarily smell like a campfire burning, because as the smoke is carried across thousands of miles, sunlight breaks down these compounds, leaving behind toxic substances like benzene and formaldehyde, which is why the air can smell like chemicals. The American Lung Association warning of the long-lasting impacts from this, saying these particles can penetrate deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream.
Sunlight makes the air smell like chemicals now. I've lived in California my whole fucking life. Never once has a wildfire smell like no goddamn chemicals. But let's see what else he's got to say.
Coal pollution triggers asthma attacks, heart attacks, and strokes, and can kill.
Wow. So not only does this wildfire smell like chemicals, but it can cause you to have a stroke and can kill you. That's a first.
喂的，那哈儿山坨的房子全都着了，那哈儿路遭堵完嘞，天嘞！怪的，直接垮。一台有排风噻，知道吗？你记得里头有卖米的。谁的啊？这个？哦，卖米的嘛，可能。天嘞！怪的，直接。
Oh man, alright y'all, last few clips is crazy, especially the one with the mother, digesting, eat her own sibling. Like, that's crazy to me. And then the landslide, man, let's just pray to all the people out there, hope they alright for that landslide, man, because that was also crazy. But yeah, we reached the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And also, if it's available, hype me up. And before we leave, I'd love to leave you with a few words. Who can't hear must feel. Those that feels it, knows it. And once you know better, you do better. And the truth will always set you free. I'm out.